himself. And in ecstasy, sometimes he was composing some lines. I remember one time when Maharaji was in ecstasy, and he created such a powerful atmosphere at that time, although I was very small kid, but still, whenever I remember that scene, then I feel something. The power of Maharaji's presence and Maharaji's bhav cannot be described. And in bhav, Maharaji made some lines and he was singing those lines in Sanskrit. The meaning of those lines is, O Sakhi, look, Shri Krishna is coming towards me. And he is playing with his flute, Mandam, Mandam, Murali, Ganayati, Samadhik Sukham Prayachati. He is playing with his flute slowly, and his whole body is full of bliss, ecstasy. Sakhi he Nand Tanaya Agachati. Hey Sakhi, the son of Nand is coming. He was singing it like this, although I cannot copy his sentiments, his way of singing, but whatever I heard or whatever I can copy, I am going to tell you that. Sakhi he Nanda Tanaya Agachati. Sakhi he Nanda Tanaya Agachati. Mandam, 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 Murali, Ganayati, Mandam, Murali, Ganayati, Samadhik Sukham Prayachati. Sakhi he Samadhik Sukham Prayachati. Sakhi he Nanda. Sakhi he Nanda Tanaya Agachati. Sakhi Nanda, Sakhi Nanda Tanaya Agachati. He was singing like that, and the atmosphere created by him at that time cannot be described. Just think that I was so small, innocent, having no knowledge of devotion or philosophy or anything, but still The impact of that bhajan is still staying in my heart. Not fully, but little bit. I can never forget that scene. I can never forget Maharaji's voice at that time. As you know, when somebody is in ecstasy, then out of 8 symptoms of ecstasy, there's one symptom is Swarabhed. Means the voice changes. I remember many times when Maharaj sings in ecstasy, his voice is completely changed and the voice becomes so attractive that it affects the heart of all the people. Even those who come to criticize Maharaj, it happened too many times, that people come to criticize Shri Maharaj, but instead of criticizing him, they become a great devotee of Shri Maharaj. Only by seeing his personality and looking at the ecstasy and the voice of Shri Maharaj, the way he chants, everything is so divine. Most of you know, but there are many satsangis who came just within 10 years. They have not seen Maharaj's condition when he dances in ecstasy. So he used to do like that all the time. He was doing kirtan. He used to do kirtan all the time, and any time he was coming in ecstasy. But after a long time, he realized that people are not acquainted with the philosophy of devotion. There are many who practice devotion, who do puja part every day for 1 hour, 2 hours, but they have no idea what is devotion. How should they worship God? They didn't know. And then, when he had a convention, I was talking about the convention in Chitrakoot. When he gave some questions and nobody could answer them, then it was a clear indication that now he has to propagate the philosophy of true devotion. And then they challenged Maharaji for Shastra. Maharaji went to Chitrakoot, and then, as I was describing in the evening, Maharaji was given the title of Jagat Guru Tam. All other Jagat Gurus were given the title of Jagat Guru only, but only Shri Maharaj, first time in the history, was given the title of Jagat Guru Tam. And I described in the evening that there were 3-4 reasons why they provided this title, the title of Jagat Guru Tam, because he reconciled all the philosophies of all the Jagat Gurus and other scriptures as well, proving that all these philosophies are authentic, they are true, but in which way and how should we follow them? He also gave the instructions about these philosophy. And then he put forth his own views as well. He is not propagating his philosophy only. He is not propagating the knowledge only, rather he is doing the prachar of bhakti. Not only by telling the philosophy of bhakti, rather he is revealing that bhakti in his personality for the benefit of the devotees too. And he also gives the experience of ecstasy of devotion to his deserving devotees too. It was very common before, but now he controlled everything and he is giving more emphasis on philosophy only. Nowadays, Maharaji is writing the Kirtans also, which is full of philosophy. He is repeating the philosophy of Ananyata and Nishkamta. As I said in the evening, the 4 pillars of devotion. Bhakti should be performed with the attachment of mind. Number 2, bhakti should be continuous. Number 3, bhakti should be ananya and bhakti should be nishkam. We should worship only one form of God and there must not be any trace of self-happiness. We should not, a bhakt should not make any other desire except the desire of serving to please Shama Sham only. Now he is giving more emphasis on bhakti. Before that, Shri Maharaji, when Maharaji was paying more attention to a practical part of devotion, there were many devotees. They were very advanced devotees, their devotion was very high, and they were also having, when Maharaji was dancing in ecstasy that time, they also were having the same symptoms of devotion in their body. They were such a high-class devotee at that time. And but Maharaji noticed that without the knowledge of philosophy, they fall down also very easily. If they have philosophy, then their devotion will be more stronger and there will be more stability in their devotion. Otherwise, in lack of philosophy, people were falling down from the path of devotion. They were making lots of mistakes, they were doing lots of nama-aparad. That's why Maharaji resolved to give more emphasis on philosophy also, only on philosophy. Otherwise, he used to go to Barsana, Vrindavan, etc. and looking at the ecstasy of devotion in Shri Maharaji, the people of Barsana used to call him Kripalu Krishna. There were many names of Shri Maharaji, and the ladies of Barsana were treating Shri Maharaji as son-in-law. Some people were calling him Bolte Krishna, Bolte Bihari, Kripalu Krishna. There were so many names, and they were teasing Maharaji. They were cutting some jokes with Maharaji because they were treating him as son-in-law. They really recognized Maharaji, the inhabitants of Barsana. He used to go over there and he was doing lots of whole night kirtan in Gehwarvan, in Shamkuti, not in any building. Most of the time he was having satsang in Gehwarvan or Shamkuti. Once Maharaji took everyone to Gehwarvan. It is in Barsana, where Shirani used to play. Maharaji went over there to do whole night kirtan. He asked the devotees that did somebody bring some food? Do you have any food? Then almost all the sangis brought some food. The puri sabji or paratha sabji or sweets and this and that. Everybody took some good food. Mostly they took puri sabji. Maharaji was asking them, anybody else who have food? Then gradually all the satsangis brought their food and they were very happy. Probably Maharaj is going to eat it. Everybody was happy to think about it. And when all food came over there, then Maharaj started throwing for the monkeys. He threw all the food for the monkeys. And then he scolded all the devotees, you are coming in Barsana Dham and bringing puri kachori? You came for puri kachori over here? Go and beg for the food. Because when you go in Barsana, it is something very auspicious. Everybody does that they go for bhiksha. And that bhiksha is called madhukari. Maharaji said, go for madhukari. Everybody has to go and bring food. I will eat the same food which you will bring in madhukari. So people went. Many people didn't know even that how should we beg, how should we say, give me food. My mother used to eat pan. When she went and she said, then they thought that she looks, because she was wearing very good clothes, chicken sari. And they asked, tell me one thing, did you fight with your husband? Did he tell you to go out from the home? Why? What happened to you? He said, no, nothing happened. No, you are hiding something, otherwise you don't look like a beggar. Why are you begging for the rotis? He said, no, yes, please give. Then she brought some charge for her, charge, and in the glass. Then she asked, do you have some sugar also? She went to beg and asking for sugar in the charge. Do you have some sugar also? They brought some sugar, and then she took out the box of pan and she ate the pan also right over there. So everybody was laughing that you went to bed or you were going in a party. So when Maharaji asked them, everybody said about their experiences, how they were begging the food. And then Maharaji ate and Maharaji distributed the same food to everyone. He said, even Brahma, Shankar, they always wish to attain their prasadi, and how come even you can think to bring puri sabji with you? And after that, whole night kirtan went on. And most of the people were so in ecstasy, somebody is running towards this side, Hare Krishna, Hare Radhe. Somebody is going to Mempasha, this side, that side. The people, there were only few people to take care of them. And they were fed up, taking care of them, because sometimes someone is falling there, somebody is falling there, somebody is going towards that, on that hill. They are just trying to catch them. This thing was going on, which I also remember. Once Maharaji, every day Maharaji used to go for Prabhat Peri, like morning kirtan on the streets. So it was very early morning, and Maharaji was going with lots of satsangis, and in ecstasy, he was singing a song. Shri Krishna Chandra Manihar Bane Go Panagalina Beche Churiyam. Shri Krishna has become Maniharin, the bangle seller, and he is selling the bangles. Koi lal bani, koi piyari bani, koi bundanawar bani churiyan. Some bangles were red, some were yellow, and there were some bangles they were dotted. So Maharaji, on the street, Maharaji came in ecstasy and he was dancing. So everybody was enjoying Maharaji's bhav at that time. The same time, a young girl, she was most beautiful, and her complexion was also dark. She came to sell the churis. And she was insisting on the ladies, take my churis, buy my churis, buy my churis. And everybody was bothered by her. Why she doesn't, we are enjoying Maharaji's bhav and she is disturbing us. Nobody bought the churi. And then when Maharaji came back, there was a Dr. Arania. Maharaji was staying over there. And when they came back, to the same house, then somehow Maharaji started talking about that day kirtan on the street. And then somebody told Maharaji, when you were dancing in ecstasy, we were enjoying so much. But a lady came with the churi, she was disturbing us so much. All the time, she was saying that take our churi, buy our churi. I said, okay. So how was she looking like? Then they described. The whole shringar was exactly the same as it was described in the bhajan. And the churis were also of same kind. Koi lal bani, koi piyari bani, koi bundanawani bani churiyan, everything was similar. Then Maharaji said that you are so unfortunate souls. If you could understand, if you were paying attention to the words which I was singing, then you could have immediately imagined that this lady is none but he is Shri Krishna himself. And your suhag could become eternal. You could be married with Shri Krishna. Your suhag was going to be eternal. But you are all of you are extremely unfortunate soul. You could not guess who could you be. This kind of pastimes were very common at that time. We don't have that much time to describe all the pastimes of Shri Maharaji, but he was giving this kind of satsang most of the time, and he was having 1 month, 2 months, continuous kirtan. Once he was having continuous kirtan for 15 days in Mau, in a dharmashala. And that time Maharaj didn't have any organization. But whenever he was doing any program of lecture or kirtan or something, he was giving the name of his organization, Akhil Bharat Varshiya Bhakti Yog Darshanik Mandal. So he put the banner of Akhil Bharat Varshiya Bhakti Yog Darshanik Mandal, and the kirtan was going on, continuous kirtan. One person came to Shri Maharaji and he said, stop this kirtan now. He said, why? All the day and night you are playing lots of dholak and manjira and everything, making so much noise. We are not making noise, we are doing kirtan. No. But my Guruji is here. A saint is here in the same dharmashala. He is staying in dharmashala. And he is having headache because of your noise of jhan, najira, dholak, everything has been played over here. Then Maharaj scolded him like anything. You say he is a saint? He is having headache because of the kirtan. He is not a saint. Maharaji used the words कि दाढ़ी नोच लो, चिमटा उठा के फेंक दो उसको, के कमंडल को समुद्र में डाल दो, वो महात्मा है ही नहीं, उसको भगा दो. He started scolding like that, Maharaji. And they challenged Maharaji. They said, if you will not finish this kirtan, if you not stop that kirtan by tomorrow, we will take away your banner and we will break all your dholak and we will throw out all the manjira and dhan and everything. We'll see that how can you do the kirtan from tomorrow. Maharaji said, see, I am challenging, these were the Maharaji's words. I am challenging not even you, only you. I am challenging Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar also. Whoever wants to take away this banner, do it. And after that I will stop my kirtan. Now, until this banner is not taken off, I am not going to finish my kirtan, no matter how long it goes on. And then, it went on for 3 months, continuously. And the crowd was increasing because of this challenge. Everybody heard about this challenge of Shri Maharaji. So the people who were not coming before, they also started coming to see who is that Mahatma. Because Maharaji was not in the attire of a saint at that time. He used to wear white clothes. He was not even having the tilak. His hair were also small like the ordinary man. He was not having long hair as well. And he was very young. So lots of people came to see him. Who is that personality who is challenging Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar to take off the banner? The crowd started increasing, and the kirtan went on for 1 month. 3 months continuously. Then those people came to Maharaji and they fell the lotus feet of Shri Maharaji. They said that we couldn't understand you. We didn't know that who are you. Now I said, please forgive us. And after that, Maharaji stopped that kirtan. So this kind of many incidents used to be. But now Shri Maharaji hides himself a lot. Although he is a personality, he cannot hide himself at any cost. And a long time ago, when Maharaji was going, he was traveling, or he is going somewhere, in a public place or something, Maharaji's lecture was going on in Kanpur, and there was a mushaira, Sher Shairi. There was a mushaira, and Maharaji wanted to go in the mushaira. But how could he go? Because his lecture was going on, and around more than 100,000 people were attending the lecture there. And he thought, if I will go in Mushaira, everybody will recognize me, then it will be very embarrassing. So he finished his lecture little earlier and immediately came to home, and he wore white clothes and a topi like the Mohammedans. He wore the topi, a cap like the Mohammedans, and he went in Mushaira. As soon as he stood in the crowd, he was standing amongst the crowd, but everybody was coming and seeing Maharaji like this. Then Maharaji had to run away from there. He said, I cannot hide myself. Everywhere, wherever he was going, he could be recognized only by his personality. He cannot be hidden by anyone. So, I forgot what I was going to tell. Anyway, so Maharaji was doing this kind of things a lot at that time, and doing kirtan only, giving no pravachans. And as I said, that if he was giving pravachan, then he was sitting like that and continuously speaking for 7, 8, 9 hours. People were going to sleep and they were coming back, but Maharaj's lecture was still going on. He used to do that. But after that convention, and he realized it, then he accepted the challenge of the scholars, and he became a Jagat Guru. The meaning of Jagat Guru, although Sri Vallabhacharya was also not less than a Jagat Guru, Mahaprabhu Chaitanya was also Jagat Guru. He was not less than a Jagat Guru. But they didn't feel any need of having this title at that time. But Maharaji felt the need. Because if Maharaji was not going to accept the title of Jagat Guru at that time, nobody was going to accept his philosophy. Because all the scholars were saying, they were propagating that he is wrong. Because all the scholars were following the same philosophy, the wrong philosophy. Like they were having the disciples by giving some mantra in the ear, or puja, part, kamkan, this and that. They didn't know the definition of devotion. That's why they were not propagating devotion in a real sense. And Maharaji was talking about all these things completely different. Although the lectures, the philosophy of Shri Maharaji was so practical, which was feasible to everyone. Even then, they were trying their best to propagate that he is not right, because he is the only one who is talking like this. All of us, all other scholars and saints are doing the same thing. How can he be right? But after defeating all the scholars, and after being Jagat Guru, it was proven itself that who is right and who is wrong. So there is no problem. Now they can easily accept that whatever he is saying must be right because he is Jagat Guru. There is none in the entire world. There is no one who can surpass the knowledge of Shri Maharaj. He is the only personality on this earth at this time who is propagating the highest aspect of devotion, having true philosophy. The philosophy Shri Maharaj is having with him, the philosophy Shri Maharaj is propagating at this time is the highest thing. Maybe in future, some Rasik saints will descend and they will also propagate the same philosophy. But so far, he is the first one. You can read the entire history. You can read all the scriptures. You will not find this philosophy even in one scripture, the whole philosophy. Some part of this philosophy is written in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Some part of this philosophy of Bhakti is written in Ujjwal Nilmani. Some part of this Bhakti is written in Narad Bhakti Sutra. Some of them are written in Bhagavad. But you won't find the entire philosophy and reconciled philosophy of devotion, the highest aspect of devotion and the practical form of that highest aspect of devotion anywhere in the world, neither in any scripture nor with the saints. Any saint did not propagate this aspect of devotion before. Maharaji is the only personality on this earth who is the highest scholar and who is the greatest master of devotion as well. And all of us who are sitting over here, very fortunate to have such a high-class Guru. There's nothing beyond it. Any saint will come in future, but no one can be, the status of any saint cannot be above it. It is the highest status of a saint. बोले श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय।